York Revival, I'm in the building.
Let's
go.
Live with the Revival!
Let's go.
Let's go.
B, I have to admit, there's something about that K Adams at the end that just gets me hyped. It gets me hyped. Peace and blessings. It is your boy, Eli Rax, a.k.a. Vibes, and welcome to New York Revival, where it's not just sports, it's entertainment. And I'm here with my brother, man. You know who he is, and that's Mr. Glass Half Full, and that's
Speed the Genius.
Let's go, baby. Come on.
And shout out to our brother El Jefe, who couldn't be here today. Got some, I don't know, he got a million things happening, man. This guy's editing videos, doing gigs, work.
List on Friday?
Yeah, right, bro. He going nuts, bro. He's going nuts in there. And of course, man, shout out to you. Yes, you, the Revivalist in the chat. Please hit that thumbs up, share, and subscribe. We do appreciate all the support. Don't forget we're on Spotify and iTunes, guys. The more you hit the subscribe button, the more Spiro's gonna drink.
Leave a comment. Leave a comment, baby.
Leave a comment. You know, Spiro's gonna drink another glass of Casamigos. Let me ask you this, man, because it's funny. You did 6 shots of Casamigos, and on your birthday, I remember getting you Casamigos, right? And you were like, bro, I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong. But you was like, man, this is smooth. I don't remember drinking this. Like, I don't think you had it. So yes. I just want to know, did I get you hooked on the Casamigos?
Oh, dude, no. I've been on Casamigos since old school day. I love Casamigos, big fan. Incredible. The problem is over this weekend, I wasn't chilling the shots. So the shots are a little rougher when they're not warm, right? So it was like,
got it.
And I was chasing it down with some a nice tasting whiskey drink, but when you chase tequila with whiskey, you're going down a bad path. So by the end of by the time the 6th shot rolled around, your boy was in some trouble. He was in some trouble. I'm a man of my word. The last time we had a great season, I started off the season with saying, "Hey, I'm going to drink as many beers as it was points." And guess what? We had an awesome season. So maybe this is the catapult to bigger things. If it means my liver takes a little bit of damage, I'll do that for this team, bro. I will do it.
Dude, you are sacrificed. And we're supposed to talk about all things Giants Tuesday, but I had to ask you, bro. Number one, number two, the fact that you're chasing it down with like a shot chasing it with whiskey, I think is nuts, man. Like usually when stuff like that happens, they wake up in a precinct butt naked for some reason. All right, so I give you credit.
I'm built for this shit. I'm built for this. I've been doing this for a long time. Yes.
I don't think they understand, Speed, that you a big guy. Like you see Spiro in person. He's a big guy. He's a big dude, man. He's solid. So I know the alcohol was absorbing through all other places of the body where it calms you down. But geez Louise, bro. I don't know how you can drink like that. I'm taking one shot and done for the day. I'm sleeping.
It was painful. It was a rough Sunday. Let's just say that. Rough Sunday.
Less, brother. Take us away, Speed, man. You doing
it.
I'm sitting back, bro.
All right. So this is our typical Monday around the NFL show where we just talk about things that pop up. You know, we don't go across the league and do every game. We go to the games that caught our eye, important games. And so we're talking about 3 games that really flashed up. First of all, the slate for the NFL was dog shit. Do better, schedule makers, please. That was rough. I know a couple of games were determined by Lamar Jackson not being on the Ravens. That changed that game, right? Like that the factor. Tampa Bay versus San Francisco. San Francisco's just banged up, and we'll talk about it a little bit more in a bit. Lost another key component. But there's a lot of other games that just stunk. So let's do better. But we're gonna weed through that, E. We're gonna weed through that and get to the meat and potatoes. And what I want to start with, first and foremost, is the Carolina Panthers versus Dallas Cowboys game. That is a huge game for us, baby. Huge game for us. And I'll tell you why, E. Because first of all, Dallas loses. They lose 30-27. Dallas looks so mid, and it kind of makes me more pissed off that we lost to them.
Very, very upset, Speed. I look at that game, right, and I go, man, again, as far as the Giants' perspective, man, I'm like, man, how do we let that one get away? And I get it, the late interception from Russell Wilson. However, our defense played very poorly. They're not playing like they're playing now, or at least Shane Bowen is not calling the calls that we see now because he played a lot of prevent that game. But I look at Dallas Cowboys and I go, man, where is the defense on that team? At this point, I think the defensive coordinator's job is in jeopardy because they can score a bunch of points. You know what I mean? So we can't laugh at the fact that they're scoring 27 points one week, another additional points the next week. These guys can score. It's just the defense gives a whole lot up. And I'm like, you gave that like 30 points up to the Carolina freaking Panthers. Now, don't get me. I'm not trying to say the Carolina Panthers are slouches, which they are. Let's be honest. They're good. Their defense is better than their offense. Right. But I'm just like, geez, man, like you guys really couldn't keep Dallas couldn't keep themselves in the game at all defensively. You had this guy looking like Dan Marino back there.
Bryce Young, baby. Let's go. It's Bryce Young season.
And again, you can't really trust. And listen, I picked the Cowboys. We do all the pick 'em Friday. But I was just like, man, like, how can you trust Bryce Young at any point of the season? It's just like, man, Dallas was just so disappointing that somebody has to roll at the end of the season. Very disappointing game.
Well, it can't be the coach. They just got the coach, so it's going to be very interesting to see. It's almost like they could have used Micah Parsons. I don't know. Just a thought. just a thought. I don't know. Maybe you could have used him. Yeah. Maybe you could have used him. But again, this is why I bet on the Panthers, because the Cowboys cannot be trusted. They cannot be trusted. That defense is horrific. And shout out to their offense. Their offense still put up 27 points. This is without CeeDee Lamb, too. So you got to take that into account. But that defense is going to lose them a lot of games. But more importantly, like Dowdle, again, former Cowboy, went for $183 on the ground against them. Just tore them up on the ground.
Revenge.
They didn't even get beat so much in the air as they did, like the Giants did. Bryce Young was efficient, 199 yards, 17 for 25, but 3 touchdowns. That's he made it count when it needed to. But again, just very important, for the Giants. Now they're 2-3-1. Giants are 2-4. The Giants could get above Dallas, man, and they're within sight. So it's huge when you see a division fall like that, dropping it, and they just look so mid. So it makes me angry. We lost that game and that Saints game, but that's for another day. That's for another day.
I totally agree, man. It's just so upsetting, man. It's like I said, when you go, man, this is a surefire, and I get the defense is what made you kind of deter away from him, Speed, and you're smart. But I was just like, come on, Bryce Young. Come on. Those guys can't be trusted either.
Don't sleep on my man.
But I can't sleep on him. I slept on him, and I lost. So we'll talk about that Friday. But
yeah, brother.
Louise, man. Here I go, another 2-win week. What the hell am I thinking? Anywho, what else we got?
Yeah. So we briefly touched on this. Tampa Bay smoking the 49ers, the San Francisco 49ers, a division game that was pitted against 2 good teams. I think they were both 4-1 going into it. There's a couple things that we took away from this game. One, Baker Mayfield looks like a dog. He looks like an absolute dog. Every game, you see him do something and get up and get right back in someone's face or talk shit, and just he backs it up though with the play on the field. And now, guess what? Baker Mayfield has entered the MVP chat. That's how good he's been playing, bro. That's how good.
And listen, when you look at Baker Mayfield, 256 yards, 73.9% completion, 2 touchdowns that game as well. But you're talking about also the pass game. This guy's been playing lights out all season. Mm-hmm. Baker Mayfield, what they deemed was a bust at one point, right? Comes in, he moves around, he becomes almost a journeyman, finds his home here at Tampa Bay. And this guy is now in the MVP conversation here. And I'll tell you this, Speed. And I said this last week on a Pick'em show. And I was like, listen, man, there's something about Tampa Bay that gives me the vibes of the Giants back in 2011. You know what I mean? Like, it's just that young scrap of 2007 or 11. Forgive me the year. I'm switching it here. But they remind me of that young, scrappy team. Just that team that's just going to claw at you until it gets to the top to where they need to go. And that's to win a Super Bowl, right? I'm telling you right now, and I'll say this on this show, Tampa Bay is becoming one of my favorites here to actually make it. They really, really have something special going on within that locker room. And they're playing teams that are difficult. And they're winning with some convincing fashion here. So Todd Bowles
100%.
got these guys ready to go, and it leads behind, and it's on one back of one man, and that's Baker freaking Mayfield. And again, we gave him hell. Yes. NFL fans gave Baker Mayfield hell. But the fact that he's coming back and saying, no, I am that quarterback. I am top 10. I am top 5. I'm in that type of ranking. Put some respect on my name. He is showing it this year. And, man, I'm just excited to know that, man, I got Tampa Bay right, or at least somewhat right. You know what I mean? So we'll see as the time goes on. But I love watching this team. I really do, Speed. I love it.
And it's two things. It sucks. It's good and it's bad. They lost Egbuka early in this game, and that's a rookie of the year candidate. That guy was balling out. He looks like he's going to miss a couple weeks, which is going to be a blow. Hopefully they get Mike Evans back. He had a hammy injury. He should be coming back soon. You forget Mike Evans has been out for the last 3 weeks, and they haven't skipped a beat. Bucky Irving has been out for the last 2 weeks. They haven't skipped a beat. So that's a mark of a good team. Again, shout out again to Baker Mayfield for overcoming that. Losing 2 massive offensive weapons. No big deal. I'm still going to go out. I'm still going to ball. Yeah, it's been phenomenal to watch. Listen, at first I was a Baker Mayfield hater. I'm hand up. When he came into the league out of Oklahoma, I was like, fuck this dude. Like I wasn't living that Baker Mayfield life. But he has won me over. He's gone to Carolina, the Rams, and then now he's found his home. And shout out to all the journeyman quarterbacks, by the way. This is a larger issue.
Yeah.
Baker Mayfield, Daniel Jones,
Sam Darnold.
Yes. These guys, it just goes to show you. We talked about this a little bit briefly before the show, E. You put a quarterback in the right situation, and they can succeed. They're the top 5. Listen, the top 5 is the top 5. Those are great quarterbacks that can supersede. They're drivers, right? They're drivers, not passengers. But these guys, some of these guys are passengers, and that's fine. That's not saying they're the game managers, whatever. But you put them in the right situations, they look like great quarterbacks, right? Yeah. But if you put them in the wrong situations, they look like they don't belong in a league. Some of them, right? We believe Daniel Jones wasn't even a starting quarterback in this league, and now look what he's doing because he's got Pittman, Downs, Pierce, Warren, one of the best running backs in the league, a tangible offensive line, and us Giants fans, some of the Daniel Jones truthers out there, they're like, Jalen Hurts is in this situation, and that's why he looks good. Well, guess what? When you put Daniel Jones in a good situation, he looks good too. If you took Jalen Hurts out of that situation, Jalen Hurts wouldn't look that good.
I agree. And I look at that Colts, and listen, I wanted to touch it a little bit on Mac Jones, but let's talk to Daniel Jones here. I think that was a good segue, Speed. You look at 212 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 1 interception, 73% completion rating. You look at Daniel Jones, and you go, man, where the hell was that when he was on the New York Giants, right? But and you hit the nail on the head, Speed. Daniel Jones is in a perfect situation. He has the offensive line that we all wanted here from New York, and we didn't have. He has the running back. Now, again, Saquon Barkley's a generational talent. We get it. You know what I'm saying? But he has a pretty good running back there in that tandem. So they're able to run the ball, have a good offensive line, and his wide receivers are good too. And guess what? You can't even slouch on a little bit of the defense that they have there. The defense is pretty good too. You know what I mean? So Daniel Jones is in a perfect situation. Now, you want to talk about Jalen Hurts. I think if you switch these guys and you put Daniel Jones on the Eagles with all that stuff that's there now, Daniel Jones would have won a Super Bowl too. Like, don't get it twisted. You know what I mean? And it's not because of Daniel Jones. It's just the system that they're in is just great. You know what I mean? So Jalen Hurts is just in a perfect system. That's good. That's great. And it won him a Super Bowl. Daniel Jones would have been in that same situation, and the same outcome would have happened, in my opinion. These guys aren't the guys to put it on their backs. These guys just have to manage the game enough to win them games. And that's Daniel Jones, in my opinion, there with the Colts. And again, there's no slouch on him. Daniel Jones is turning out to be one of the greatest stories probably in NFL history, right? As far as him being this type of New York market, him being bashed the way he did, and we kind of forced him out of here. That should be one of these guys that's talked about that could be in the top 10 range, top 15 range, which what we all thought. Don't get it twisted. You know what I mean? It's just the situation had to be perfect around him in order for him to be successful, or at least very, very good around him in order for him to be successful. And he's in a very, very good situation.
Right. Like I said, I'll combat that in 2022, all Daniel Jones had was a decent offensive line, a star in Saquon Barkley. And that's all, he needed help. Daniel Jones needed help. And it was our fault for not being able to provide it. But also, he got paid like he was a top 5 quarterback.
Correct.
When you ask for that much money, you take on the responsibility for carrying a bad roster. And Daniel Jones is not that type of quarterback, and he put a little bit of the target on himself too. You could have asked for less money. We would have been able to do more around you.
Oh yeah.
So it was twofold there. But
listen,
Daniel Jones needs a good situation around him, as you said. It's got to be very good. And
I totally agree.
That's what you've seen. And look at their schedule too. I mean, listen, let's call a spade here. 33-8 against the Miami Dolphins, who are about to fire their head coach. They beat the Broncos. Very good win. I'll give them that. They smacked the Titans. Just fired their coach. They lost to the Rams. They beat the Raiders 40-6. The Raiders look like one of the worst teams in the league. They beat the Cardinals just recently. Barely squeaked by the Cardinals, but they beat them without Kyler Murray. Like, you put strength of schedule up right now, that's one of the easier strengths of schedule in the league. It is what it is. Great situation. Go for it, Daniel.
When he went for the playoffs on the Giants in 2022, wasn't that schedule deemed soft?
It's just, I mean, listen, let's call a spade. Daniel Jones is and this is what I said back in the day, and I still believe it now. I said Daniel Jones was a borderline top 10 quarterback. And it's showing out now. All these quarterbacks in the 7 through about 15 range, you interchange them, you put them in a good situation, they're going to look great. You put them in a bad situation, they're going to look shitty. That's why they're in the middle there. There's some quarterbacks that won't do good no matter what situation you put them in. They're the bottom ring. But these guys in the middle, in the 8 to 20 something range, you could interchange them. And that's what that's why you saw a good quarterback in Daniel Jones look shitty on a shitty team. That's why when you put when you put Baker Mayfield on the crappy Browns teams, he looked not great.
Yeah.
But when he goes to Tampa Bay and he got some good weapons around him in more season now, he looks good. It's not crazy. It's not crazy. Put a good team on a quarterback to succeed.
I totally agree. And listen, looking at the rest of the Colts schedules, next week they have, or the next game they have the Chargers. Then after that, the Titans. That's again, a big one. Of course. And then the Steelers. So I'm looking at these two games coming up, and at least the Chargers, and I'm going, okay, even though the Chargers are banged up, they're still a pretty good team. Let's see what he does, with these teams like the Chargers or the Steelers.
It's going to get harder. Chiefs after that.
Yeah, guys.
Texans, Jaguars, 49ers. Yeah.
I want to see him play those type of teams. If he can still put up those 212 yards, the 2 touchdowns. I know, granted, he had a turnover last week, but he overcame that. But if he starts to put up those numbers there, I'm going to be like, okay, well, damn, I was completely wrong about Daniel Jones of him carrying the team. The jury's still out. I don't want to put too much stock into Daniel Jones like a lot of people are doing in the Giants fan world.
Talk down. Let's talk down.
Exactly. Let's calm that down for a second, because I'm not a buyer. I'm not a buyer of Daniel Jones right now.
I'm not yet.
Let's see what he does as far as the rest of the schedule. But my eyes are close to it, Speed. And that was the first Colts game I actually seen and witnessed and try to break it down as much as I could was this past weekend. Like I said, he's in a very, very good situation. Good for Daniel Jones. Yeah. What else we got, Speed? Sorry about that, brother.
Well, let's cap it off with our brothers from MetLife. They went to London. And boy, oh boy, was that a shit show. Justin Fields looked like he never played the quarterback position before. Got sacked 9 times. Fun fact here, the Jets netted out at -10 passing yards.
That's insane.
-10 passing yards. I think it was the lowest net passing yards in almost 30 years. I mean, Aaron Glenn, they have the number 1 pick right now. Aaron Glenn is 0-6. You're talking about dysfunction in the locker room. They just lost Garrett Wilson to injury, their best wide receiver by far.
Yeah.
It's not looking good for our boys. And I don't know if Aaron Glenn, it might be a one and done. You hate to say that, but they look terrible. Terrible.
And this funny thing is they have a quarterback that could play not great, but you know what? Let me say this. That could play much better than Justin Fields and Tyrod Taylor back there. These guys should have pulled the plug at least in week 3, in my opinion. Now, again, you're looking at some of the scores and some of the games, they were close as far as the Jets, but it still wasn't enough. Like Justin Fields, unfortunately, is just not in a good situation. And to be honest with you, I don't think he's a good quarterback. I think he's a backup.
It might be both,
in
right?
league. You know what I mean? So we already tried this. I think with the fact that he's staying with Justin Fields, either hey, you tanking, or you just really don't know the head coaching job at all, and you're gonna get fired and one and done. I'd have been put Tyrod Taylor in there, veteran quarterback. Yes, he's injured a lot, unfortunately, but at least the guy can read defenses a whole lot better than what Justin Fields is doing, because some of those sacks yesterday that you've seen was on Justin Fields as well.
Oh, yeah.
Like, we can talk about the offensive line and how they need to protect better, because even the running game was a little bit suspect actually yesterday. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I was just like, man, even the offensive line wasn't even run blocking well. So when you look at that, you go, man, Justin Fields just can't read defenses when they go back to pass, because some of those was his issues and some of them were the offensive line. But the Jets has issues, man. And I think, Speed, you hit the nail on the head. I think Glenn is just definitely a one and done here. The game plan is poor. The decision making that he has is just poor. He gets up on a podium and just doesn't give you much. You know what I mean? So it's
I got someone on that podium for you. Though.
Right.
So did you hear this? Aaron Glenn on if Justin Fields is going to be the QB next week. He goes to whoever asked the question. What kind of question is that? That's the kind of Joe Judge shit that gets you fired earlier than you expected. You cannot do that in the New York media. You can't do that anywhere, but especially in the New York media. You cannot pull that shit. We all watched the game. To say that shouldn't even be a question when your quarterback looks like he's not even an NFL caliber quarterback, and you do have one sitting on the bench right behind him. You have a guy that has done it in the NFL, and to the nerve of him to far be it to me to stick up for the media. I'm not that guy that sticks up for the media a ton, but you can't ask like that question was out of pocket. Like, are you kidding me? Like, who do you think you are, Aaron Glenn? Like, exactly. So that's the kind of shit that gets you fired early.
And trust me, he did not earn any type of respect from the media. In fact, if I was them, I'll keep digging. And I know, Speed, you're like, man, I don't agree with the media some of the time. Me either. But I think that question was warranted, because that quarterback has been playing absolutely horrendous for the Jets at this point. And the ego that he has just to be like, man, who do you think you are asking me that question? Is like, Glenn, you can't even get a win here in New York, which is one of the toughest markets to play in. You got to humble yourself there, Aaron Glenn. You know what I mean? Like you're not even like on a radar of anybody other these other coaches, that 32 coaches in the league, and some of them are terrible. You know what I mean? Like, come on, Aaron Glenn. Like, you just got to do better there. Your team is terrible. You're 0-6. You guys, and I'm looking at the rest of the schedule. Do you see a win coming out of there? No. I don't care how easy this schedule you think. I don't care if they face Miami again, which is a division foe. Miami's going to get a win before the Jets. You know what I'm saying? So I think it is going to be a one-and-done situation. Again, this is a coach that is just not humble enough to go, yo, I need to make changes to keep my job. This is what makes me think that there's some backdoor conversations or backroom conversations to be like, yeah, you're going to come in here, tank, and go get the quarterback you want. Maybe that's the case here. I don't know. And again, I've seen Justin Fields on the Steelers play better than I've seen him on the Jets at this point. That's coaching. That's coaching. Yeah. And this guy, unfortunately, Jets fans, you got to be like, yo, he got to go. Like, Jets fans should be us, like how us Giants fans are. Like, ready to just burn MetLife down to the ground. Burn it down, Jets. You can burn MetLife to the ground, man.
You're right.
Go out there with your signs and go nuts. But no, you guys are loyal, and Woody Johnson's still going to get his check because you guys are loyal fans more than Giants fans, probably. I don't know. But, dude, like, the drought's too long, and the bad coaching decisions, etc. It's just too long. Sell the team, Woody, at this point. But
they've reached the point where we kind of were before Dart came in, right? Like, we were to the point where we were so dejected that we had no emotion anymore. You talk to Jets fans, and they're done. They're so, like, they don't care anymore. That's when it gets really bad, and that's when you start losing fans. And we were close. We know that. We know that feeling. We were very close. You know, Jackson Dart came from the heavens, and Cam Scaraboo came from the heavens and saved us a little bit. But the Jets don't have that guy. And honestly, you got the number one pick. There's no quarterback right now that's shining quarterback in college that's like, hey, this is gonna fix it. So it's a bad time for the Jets to be this bad. I don't know if Aaron Glenn makes it. I don't know. It's bad timing, and you're gonna lose a generation of fans, bro. You're gonna lose a generation of fans.
And Speed, you're right. I'm looking and I'm like, what is the shining object?
There is
there isn't any quarterback in the draft right now that you can go, oh yeah, he's him. Like at least in a weak quarterback class, as people would say even last year, they'll go, oh, it's Shedeur Sanders, a Cam Ward, Jackson Dart was in or out in the top 3 and not, you know what I mean? So even looking at that, you go, man, even in a weak quarterback, the Giants found someone, or the Cleveland Browns could have found someone, in Tennessee. I look at 2026 and I go, who can they pick? No one. So you're in that same position, unless you go, hey, Giants, or probably wait till next year, because the Giants are going to do nothing that's crazy. You're going to have to sign Russell Wilson and have him play for the Jets until you get your franchise quarterback. And he'll probably stake up the joint too for a while, because unfortunately he may be washed, or some people will say he isn't. But it's just like, man, who do you have? You're going to have to get a Russell Wilson, because he's not retiring. He's like, I'm going to get another check with the Jets probably.
Man.
So it's just going to be a round robin thing. Sell the team, buddy.
Pray for the Jets fans. Pray for the Jets fans, buddies.
They need it.
We were down bad too. We know how it feels. But the slate sucked. But listen, and one more last thing I'll say. Yeah. The Giants win. The biggest win in recent memory for the New York Giants fans.
Huge.
Felt so great on Friday. Like Friday it kept my weekend was so good because the Giants did what they did. Friday was great, Saturday was great, but I reached an unfamiliar feeling on Sunday. I was like, I need Giants football back in my life. I needed it back in my. I was like, I'm watching all these teams and now I'm excited for Giants football again. It feels so good to want Giants football back, and we made it on the other side. I think we'll see how. Listen, we're not there yet. Let's see some consistency, but for now, we're in a good spot.
And Spee, I'll talk to that just a little bit. You know, it was emotional for some Giants fans out there to finally beat Philadelphia, right? Oh, yeah. You look at the Sean Morashes of the world, good friends of the show. He was in tears on Talking
literal
Giants.
Tears.
Like literally just excited about the win, that the Giants could potentially be back. And just to be, just to go backwards just a little bit, Spee, when we talking about the Daniel Jones and et cetera of the world, how Daniel Jones has to be in a perfect situation, or a very, very good situation, in order to win. Jackson Dart is that type of quarterback. You see what he's up against in that offense, right? He doesn't have a number 1 wide receiver. He doesn't have a number 2 wide receiver.
He might not have a number 3.
Right? He's throwing the practice squad guys and winning games with just a running back at this point. So that shows you this quarterback, Jackson Dart, Dayball found something in the rough there. And also Joe Shane found something in the rough. I think 6th or 7th round. I don't even know. I think Cam Scatterboo is where we drafted him. And this guy's playing like an RB. The 4th round?
Yeah.
Sorry about that. And he's talked about as an RB1 right now. People are debating that. You know what I mean? And that's another conversation for another show. But man, it's just like, geez Louise, man, we got one in Jackson Dart where he can elevate a team and not have and nothing has to be perfect around him. That's what I like about this quarterback, Jackson Dart. Brings that juice to the Giants that New York haven't seen in years, since the Eli Manning era. And again, there's no slouch to Eli. It's just that wasn't his personality. But I think we called this here. Yeah, we called this on New York Revival Speed. We was like, yo, we need someone that is not Eli Manning 2.0. We need a guy that's a dog that can show teeth. They got it in Jackson Dart, hands down.
They got it, bro. They got it. I'm ready for it. Give us more. This week will be more telling. Denver game. We'll talk more about tomorrow. Promo tomorrow. We got big ones coming.
Guys, tomorrow we got special guest Madeline Burke stopping by. All Giants fans know who she is, man. Giants.com. She's got her own podcast. She's on CBS Sports, guys. She does everything under the sun. So tomorrow, 8:30, man, we will have that special guest, Madeline Burke. Come on, stop by. And of course, on behalf of my brother, great show. Behalf of my brother, man, you guys know who he is. And that's Mr. Glass half full, and that's
Speed the Genius.
Let's go. Come on.
Spee, I like that.
I like that.
And of course, it's your brother, Eli Rax, a.k.a. Vibes. We see you guys on the next one. Peace and blessings. Yes, sir.
You have revival. I'm in the building.
Let's go.
Live with the Woodward Roll!
Let's go.